What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wnba Dfs here to bring you that NBA slate breakdown for the 3-game. They gave it to us. A nice 3-game WNBA slate today. Hopefully, we can go ahead and we can make some money. If you guys are new here, you guys enjoying this content or any of the other content I have dropped on this channel, make sure you guys drop a like on the video so you guys don't miss anything that I'm putting out over here. And talk to me down in the comment section. Let me know, how did you guys do yesterday? Because yesterday, we kind of hit the nail pretty good yesterday in regards to building out the lines, talking about slate plan in regards to how I was going to build personally, and just running out the line yesterday. Definitely did very well in regards to cash. And if I would have actually did a lot more of my single entry stuff that I normally do, probably would have been up there at the top. I ended up scoring a 192.5 on my line. Skylar Diggins-Smith just really didn't get there for me, but had Laney, AT, monster game 60. If Jonquel Jones comes out in the second half and has as good of a first half, good as the second half as she did first half, definitely would have smoke checked that. She dropped 29.5 fantasy points, and then I can't say her name still right, but Fag Bentley dropped 25 fantasy points. She was pretty much the value of the day. 25 fantasy points, really great spot. And then Carrington, of course, 27.5, kind of what I expected, right around that ballpark for her. So all in all, not a bad line, period, in regards to scoring yesterday. So I definitely could have did better, but I'll take it. Unfortunately, Clark got injured, got hurt in the first half. Didn't close out the first half, ended up playing the second, kind of got stuff going more in the second half. But again, the future is bright with her still. Enjoyed the upside from her. If she didn't get injured, I think that she still could have actually had a pretty decent game, because the Fever, if you watch that game, they were in that game. They were definitely in that game to actually win it. But that's enough about yesterday. Going on, and we're going to talk about today. Real quick, let's go over the injury report. For Dallas, we already know over here that Jaylen Brown, she's going to be out, and Natasha Howard's out for a minute, and Sachu's going to be out. For Atlanta, biggest thing is Canada. She's still out. I think it might be an ankle injury. I'm not exactly too sure what the injury is anymore with Canada, but Canada, she's more likely going to be out, so we should still have Haley Jones in the starting lineup. I'm not sure exactly how long that's going to last, because Haley has not been too good in that starting role. But that's neither here nor there. For Washington, Shakira Austin should be back today. She did sit out last game. That was just for injury management. I fully expect her to play her allotment of minutes, which should be right around that 20-ish. We should be bumping up to about 23, 24-ish minutes now for her. Sykes is still out with that ankle injury, so that means we will get Van Loo starting at the point guard position again here in a more favorable spot than what she had last time out. For the Sparks, Azura Stevens is still out, and Ray Burrell, she's out, so nothing really new for us to focus on over there. For the Phoenix Mercury, BG, she's still out, and then for the Las Vegas Aces, Chelsea Gray is out as well. So pretty much pretty direct injury report that we have coming out for today. Nothing that we have to really monitor, pay attention to, or focus too heavy on. Going over to DraftKings, the site that I play the most on. The site, if you guys don't have an account, you want one, make sure you check the link down in the description below so you guys can get that deposit match bonus for it. And check the link down in the description below for the Patreon. That is where I post all my plays, my betting plays, my prop plays, my prize picks plays, everything that I play, my core, all of that is posted on the Patreon. Not only myself, but BK, all of his stuff. He's already posted his prop list for today. I know the player pool and all that stuff will be coming soon. My boy Jay, very heavy on the sports books. He dropped some bangers last night for us to go ahead and take advantage of some value lines that were up. If you rode on the AT train that he was on yesterday, he had AT for the double-double. He had, I want to say the New York Liberty to win first half, second half. Those lines right there. He finds some really good gems for you to be able to get and build your money up on the sports book. So definitely for $10, well, what we offer over here for $10 is really, you're getting a lot of value, and you definitely make your $10 back probably in the first 2 days of even being with us. So definitely check that out if you guys have not done so already. Now, I know I got in the comment section yesterday that you guys really want me to touch more on props. I definitely will touch on the props, but if you're not watching the video, then you're not going to be able to get the props as I go ahead and list them out, or I mention them as I'm going through the games by game breakdown, because I'm not exactly going to just go straight over prize picks. That makes the video way too long with me trying to do a breakdown and talk about prize picks at the same time. That's why I will mention the props as I go through and talk about the players. If you guys want to just straight up prop video, let me know. I will try to accommodate that into my schedule and just focus on maybe going over a prize picks or underdog type prop video itself, besides just doing the DFS stuff. Now, getting into it, a lot of housekeeping out of the way. Wow, already 5 minutes talking about nothing. Dallas taking on Atlanta first game. This should be a banger. I would imagine that this is probably going to be the game stack of the day. Pretty good total in this game right here. We already know that Dallas is shorthanded. A lot of the usage and everything is going to be in Enrique's hand. We saw that in that the starting lineup that they rolled out there last time is pretty much the same thing. They're rolling out Uzan, Arike, Maddie. Hopefully she still gets to start. She disappointed last time. Soares and McCowan. That should round out the complete starting lineup. Arike, pretty much the primary de facto starter right there, sitting at 11K. Took her a minute to heat up, but she got there. 50.75 fantasy points, dropped 35 points in that game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Definitely was expecting more from her on the assist side, but still can get there. She took 28 shots in that game. I would expect her to hover around that 25 shots again here. And a lot of her shots, they do come from 3. This should be a back and forth between her, Ryan, and Alicia Gray out there. I'm not scared of the defense on the other side. Arike, if you're going to pay up for a guard, she definitely will be one of those that you want to, just because, the usage, the minutes, everything will be there for Arike if they want to win this game. Now, outside of that, Tierra McCowan went out there last game, and she disappointed. 21 minutes. This is the teeter-totter that we get with Tierra. We're going to have a good game where she drops 43 fantasy points. Then we're going to have that game where she comes out here and she drops 14, 15 fantasy points. But I will say Tierra's history versus the Atlanta Dream, she is a very good fantasy point per minute player going up against them. And I will go ahead and take that. At the 9.5, her price dropped down drastically from that 11K that they bumped her up to. I don't mind taking her as what she is, a GPP play whenever it comes down to it. This is still a good matchup for her going up against Cheyenne Parker and Tina Charles. I don't mind it. If she's locked in and she decides she wants to go and get it, she will go ahead and destroy this slate and put up some pretty big numbers. But Big T at 9.5, I do like her as a spend up option, especially for the fact that we do have Asia freaking Wilson sitting here at 13.2 on today's slate. So you're gonna have to decide what you want to do, if you want to pay up at guard or you want to pay down at the 4 position, or pay up at the 4 position, pay down at guard. So definitely one of those days. Maddie, she started, didn't really do too much in that game. Price still sitting at that 7.5. Definitely wouldn't mind taking her as a GPP option. I don't hate, but I'm not going to force myself to go ahead and take her when there's some other players I think we can get to around that price range instead. Kalani Brown, if you feel like Tierra is going to go out here and have a pretty shitty game and you think she's going to come out here and maybe foul or not do too much, in about 20 minutes, she dropped 24.25 fantasy points. She's another good fantasy point per minute player, and they are going to need either Tierra or or Kalani's size out there going up against Cheyenne Parker and Tina Charles and what they're going to actually bring out there. So I don't mind having her in my GPP pool. And then Monique Billings. This is the weird thing, maybe not weird, but Stresh joining this team 20 minutes. And she dropped 12 fantasy points. Now, this is a revenge factor game for her. You can say, so to say, for it. If they magically decide they want to start her in the starting lineup, I definitely will have to have more interest in Mo Billings at 5'8". That definitely is a pretty good price tag to go ahead and take, especially if she's going to play that 20 to 25-ish minutes. Who knows? Maybe she could turn back the clock and have one of those big games. But what you're seeing right here in regards to the rebounding, a little bit of playmaking, I know she can do it on the defensive side as well. But the scoring is going to be what will make her pop and make her a really good GPP aspect of, hey, this was a really good play. So I definitely don't mind her in the GPP pool. Uzan, Sheldon, and Soares, that's going to round out your players and your value on today's slate. If you want to take anything from Dallas, we already know these guys are going to get some pretty good minutes. Sheldon, once she actually can get the shot to fall, 1 of 2, 1 of 5, she just has to get the scoring going, because the playmaking and all that and what she brings from the defensive side, that's going to be there for her. It's the scoring that I want to see uptick for her. But at 5K, I'll just come down here and take Soares, who's out there. She played 32 minutes in that last game. Pretty big player, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 blocks, 1 steal. That's pretty much a Tierra McCowan line right there, straight off the rip, before we even get to the fact that she had 0 points. Now, imagine if she actually would take more shots or actually decides that she wants to go out there and score. Maybe we're actually looking at a pretty decent scoring output from her. At 4 or 5, that's another value play that we're going to have to go ahead and take and consider on today's slate. Going over to the other side, Ryan, no introduction needed at 10.4. If you're not going to play up for the 11K for Arike, you're definitely going to want to play Ryan. Their history going back through these games and her time playing against Dallas, she's pretty consistent in regards to dropping at least 30-plus fantasy points going up against them. I don't hate that at that 10.4 price tag. That should be pretty well. Tina Charles, this is definitely a bounce-back spot for her at that 9.7. Coming back to her, if she gets big T in foul trouble or anything like that, I could see her actually popping off and having a pretty decent game. She definitely lost the minutes in the first half due to the foul issues that she picked up, 3 quick fouls. And so she was sitting for most of it and then played most of the second half and was slowly chipping away to get there. I don't mind going to her at that 9.7 unless you come up off of the Tierra McCowan. If you think that this is going to be a game where we can go ahead and we can see Tina just continue to turn back the clock and actually have a pretty decent game. Outside of that, don't mind looking at her rebounds prop if you want to take something like that. I think it was sitting at like around 6 or so. That's definitely something I could take. And then Ryan Howard, one prop that I already posted on the Patreon was her 2.5 3 points make. She's hit that 7 out of 8 games going up against the Dallas Wings. And if you look at her minutes that she played 30. She played the whole game last game. And if the game stays close, 35 to 30-ish minutes was what I would imagine that she would play. She's already 2 for 2 on the season in regards to going to that 2.5 prop. And just the threes that Dallas can't give up and the threes that Atlanta's going to take and Ryan specifically is going to take, I'll take the over on that 2.5. If you can get it anywhere for any props, that is what I would actually take right there for that. Cheyenne Parker, 9-1. I'm going to chalk this up for the fact that she got there due to Tina being in foul trouble. So I'm not going to go there because her minutes for 9-1, I don't like where her minutes are. Let her come down to the 8K range, then I'll have more interest in her. Alicia Gray, depending on which Alicia Gray we're going to get, 29 minutes, she dropped 18.75 fantasy points. 33 minutes, she dropped 41 fantasy points. I'll say going up against the former team, she's been pretty decent going up against us last season. First couple of games was like 20-ish, mid-20s fantasy points. Then she got up there to those 30 and close to 40 fantasy point type games. At 8-9, if you want to go to the mid-tier in regards to the guard position, I could see us going to Alicia Gray if you don't want to trust what Haley Jones is going to actually come out here and bring. 20 minutes, pretty much got the hook, got the yank, wasn't really playing all too well. And we saw Dangerfield end up getting more minutes. Now, another revenge narrative that we can go to, Dangerfield going up against the former team. If you want to go ahead and play Dangerfield, I don't mind it as a GPP option specifically. 4-9, and we know if Haley's going out there and she's struggling, Danger, she's going to come out there, she's going to play make, she's going to go out there, try to give it all on defense, and she actually can score pretty decently. Nice little cut slasher that she can get in there. I don't know how well she's going to do going in against the trees with Tierra McCowan or Lonnie Brown down there to be able to block those shots. Kalani Brown, sorry, not Lonnie. So definitely something to consider in regards to if you want to take some value right there. Everyone else over here, Hillman, Powers, Coffee, none of them really interest me. I'm not going to force or go to any of those guys over there. Going over to the Phoenix Mercury, taking on the Las Vegas Aces. Another prop that I would actually take, Arike, her 2.5 threes, if they actually have it up, or 3 threes, and then also Arike's points, if it's still sitting around like 21, 22 point range, I'll take it up to 25, just because she is literally the de facto scoring option. A lean play, specifically a lean Tierra McCowan's fantasy points scored or Tierra's rebounds. That's another one that you can actually take over here in that game. Other than that, I'm not going to force too many plays from there. My main play that I do want to get is that 2.5 from Ryan for those threes made. Going over here to the Phoenix Mercury taking on the Las Vegas Aces. Pretty much Cloud, Copper, DT, Natasha Mack has been playing phenomenal in these first couple of games. 20 and 22 minutes, 25, 28 fantasy points. She's bringing it on the defensive side, and I don't mind running back to her again. I understand the price has crept up, but if you're going to tell me her minutes are going to slowly tick up, she kind of is reminding me of Fag Benley from yesterday in regards to what she's going out there and actually giving us, to the production that she can actually do and give. Now, if she actually is able to get the buckets to go down, maybe some more offensive putbacks, things like that, she's looking very well. If she can stay out of foul trouble going up against Asia, I really do like the upside for her here. DT, really kind of scoring dependent if she's going to actually be able to get the shot to fall. Right now, I know a prop that I was looking at her would be her threes made. If we can get it probably like 1.5, 2 to the 2.5, just because we know that she's going to chuck when she's out there, but not really the main play that I want to get to. That's going to be Kalia Copper at the 8.5. I think the price is honestly too cheap. 8.5, a lot of usage for her when she's out there on the court. 30, 47 fantasy points. She literally is showing that she is pretty much the alpha for these ladies out there. She's going to go out there. She's going to go get you a bucket. Going up against Atlanta in 33 minutes, dropped 38 points in that game. 3 of 5 from 3. Got to the free throw line quite a bit just for the fact of her slashing and her just getting downhill. But Copper at 8.5, I do like the upside. I'm not too scared of Plum or Jackie defense out there right now. Maybe she might draw the Clark defensive matchup still, but I still do feel like she can go out there and get you a bucket. I don't mind that for her. 8.8 for Cloud. I'll come down and play Copper instead. I really don't like playing Cloud. Her upside is very limited in regards to what she can bring you. Yes, she can go ahead and get some assists. If her shots actually falling, she can definitely score with the best of them. But outside of that, just reverting back down to 6 shots in that last game, I don't like that. The upside, it's kind of middling for me right there for going ahead and taking Cloud. Other than that, some value that you can definitely get to, maybe Cunningham off the bench. We know she is going to play some pretty decent minutes, 26, 25 minutes, 14, 30 fantasy points. Maybe we're looking more towards like a 20-ish, 22 fantasy points from Cunningham. Value, not by any means necessarily something that you have to hammer or get to over there. Going to the Las Vegas Aces side. Aces are pretty much showing, yes, they're the top team, but they're letting these teams stay in the games with them so far. This is literally a repeat of their first game of the season. But the games 89 to 80 in the first game, 89 to 82. They're letting teams stay in these games so far, and that might be due to the fact that Gray is not close my door. The fact that Gray is still out for them. So with that being said, Wilson, of course, if you can get there, and as I was doing this breakdown, I thought about it. Maybe Asia's not going to be that owned for the fact of, hey, she's 13-2. Cool. There's some guards that are sitting at the 10K, 11K range that I could just go ahead and get to 8, 9, 9K range instead. Asia probably will be lower owned. The way that we can get different, play Asia, go heavier on Asia than the field. We'll go with Asia and pay down and find some type of value guard to go ahead and play. Because what's going to happen is that Young is going to be probably higher owned. Plum is going to be higher owned, just simply for the fact of Asia sitting here at that 13-2. None of them are bad plays. All the usage right now is going through Wilson, Young, and Plum. Everything. I'll say Jackie Young right now, without Gray being out there, she's pretty much is the point guard, is how they're running it. They tried Plum as the point guard, scratch that. Jackie doing a much better job of it. 11 assists in that last game, 6 assists in the game before that, 6 rebounds, 7 rebounds, 22 points. She's scoring consistently, playing very well. The playmaking is there, getting downhill, all those things. With that being said, I do love Jackie Young as my favorite play for today. Her fantasy point score will be one that I will go ahead and hammer and take on today. Her 3 points make, if they put it up at 2.5, I wouldn't mind taking the over on that. Or if they put it at 1.5, I don't mind if you can actually get a hold of either one of those. And then her assist. If her assists are sitting at 6, right now, that's where I feel comfortable taking it at. If I was able to get it at like 5, if you're able to alt lines, I would take it at like a 5 or something like that, just for value. But the playmaking that she's actually shown so far, I like that. One of the plays that I was on early for her was her rebounds and assists, for the fact that she is rebounding very well so far right now, kind of not hampering Asia in regards to her rebounds that she's getting. But when she gets the rebound, she's pushing the break. She's either getting downhill for her to score, or she's dishing the rock for someone else. So Jackie Young, love the upside for her here on today's slate. And the GPP play would be fade Young, play Plum. Plum has the go off 40, 50 point fantasy point game that we're expecting Jackie to go ahead and go out here and get. And you're getting a lot of savings coming out here to Kelsey Plum instead. Outside of that, Clark, Gustin, Stokes, Martin, I am not looking at anyone else on this team. Yeah, you can mess with Clark as a value if you land there at 6'9". That's not going to be too bad. But outside of that, I am not touching anyone else besides the main big three over here. Another prop that we can go ahead and take will be Asia Wilson for her points, and a lean for Asia Wilson's rebounds. I'm not too heavy on her rebounds right now, but I do like her points. This is pretty much the same match that she had in the first game. She should be able to go ahead and get the rebounds, considering that the Mercury, they're running kind of small out here. But I feel more comfortable taking her points. The fact that she can get downhill, and honestly, she would have crushed last game in regards to points wise, but she started the game like 1 of 7 or something like that. She shot 9 of 20. So it was a pretty bad shooting night for Asia out there. Still dropped 22 points. I do like the over for points. I think we're sitting at like 23.5, 24. So I would take that as an over, as a pretty good play that we could take over there on Prize Picks or any other prop sites. Going over to Washington, taking on the Sparks is kind of pretty cut dry for me. Atkins, main play that I want to get to, sitting at 8-6. I don't mind going right back to Van Loo, sitting at 4-6. I'm pretty sure she will be the chalk value play at the guard position because she didn't get a price bump. She's literally in the exact same role that she was in the last time when they rode out here. So I will go right back to her. I know she has the ceiling is pretty much 28, 30 fantasy points. If she can actually get this damn shot to fall, if she can just get the shot to fall, she will have a really good game. The other thing with her in that last game, I watched it, was very, very, and I mean, I streamed it, was watching it. The issue in that game when they played against Storm, she was setting up players. A lot of them were getting fouled, or they just flopped on getting the shot up. Hopefully, a little bit more cohesion, practice underneath their belts. Maybe we can see her playmaking chops look a little bit better in this game. But Van Loo, for her assist, I would still take that again. If they put it at like a 5, 5.5, I'll take the over on that again here in the spot going up against the Sparks. It should be a pretty good spot for her to actually be able to hit that. Outside of that, Shakira Austin, I have a little bit of interest as a GPP option sitting at 8-1. Again, I imagine her minutes, maybe we can tick up, hopefully get to like 23 here, but she's been pretty consistent out there on the floor. A prop that I wouldn't mind taking for her would be her rebounds in this spot, going up against the Sparks and what they're bringing. Outside of that, not really too interested in anything else over for them. You can mess with Carly Samuelson as a, if I land here, I land here, but not a must play or anything like that. I will take her points over 11 points again, just because a lot of those setups from the shots from Van Loo, some of them did go to Carly. Also, same thing from Atkins and Carly. She's going to just pull. She's going to shoot while she's out there. The Sparks taking on Washington on the other side. Ham Bam, 10-1. A little bit too rich for my blood. I'm not going to go and pay for a Hamby at that price when I can get McCowan, come down to her, or some of the other bigs on the slate. I'm just not too keen when, I got Tina Charles down here at that price range. But I will say she's been very high usage, very productive. I know that it's been going around that Hammy is on her period. So I don't know exactly how that factors into this when we've been playing the WNBA for years. And I've never considered a woman's period to be why I'm not going to play a player. I will still say I don't mind going and playing Wnba still. Wnba, obviously, these girls have been playing for years. They've been playing ball for years. If we really feel like, oh shit, they're on their period, that is going to affect how this player is going to come out here and play, stop playing DFS. Stop betting. Stop. Just stop. I'm not going to take that into consideration when it comes down to deciding if I'm going to play Wnba or not. But at 10-1, I like that. Don't mind the price. But again, like I said, I'll come down to Tierra McCowan. I'll come down to Tina Charles, Cheyenne Parker even, instead of having to pay up that price for the 10-1 for Wnba. If I'm playing Wnba, that means that she's my main big into my line. Outside of that, for Wnba, I don't mind going to her fantasy points scored or her points and rebounds because she's been pretty much smashing that so far to start the season. Like I said, the usage is crazy and it's there for her. And of course, with Austin being on a minutes limit pretty much, those rebounds should kind of be free for her out there. Clarendon really let down in that last game. 23 minutes, only 11.75 fantasy points, but the shot wasn't falling. Still kind of did a little bit of everything else that she does in regards to the playmaking, a little bit of the rebound. So I don't mind going to her as a GPP option. But again, I got Alicia Gray sitting there in the price tag, can just come up another 1,000 so to get to Kelsey Plum, things like that. So not a must that I feel like I have to force Clarendon into my line. Falling down, Brink. She's going to eventually have one of these big games that I'm going to want to play her, but I don't feel like the matchup is there for her just yet. I do like her upside in regards to it, especially what she brings on the defensive side. That's beautiful. 5 blocks in the game for a rookie. Really great. Long, lanky girl. And I mean, she's going to be a pretty good star as long as she continues to develop. Lexi Brown, Kia Nurse, pretty much kind of the same players right there for me. A lot of it depending on the shot, if the shot is actually falling. Lexi in that last game, 2 of 5 from 3, 6 of 14. 3 steals. I'm not going to depend on the steals, but she's been pretty productive in that ballpark. I will say Van Loo definitely can turn the ball over quite a bit. So Lexi might be able to snag a steal or 2 in this game. I don't mind playing Lexi or Kia Nurse, either one. Both of them, they're getting the shot attempts. They are pretty much the scorers for this team outside of what Wnba is going to bring. If I land on them, that's definitely a value play that I can get to in the mid-tier range. So something that I would actually go to if I am trying to go ahead and pay up for Asia. Let's see. Give you guys example of thank you what I'm talking about. So if I am going to go ahead and play up for Asia, then I'm going to go over here to this guard position, come down, and this is just straight off the rip, off the dome. I might go something with like the Kia, and then of course Van Loo. She's still sitting here at that 4-6. Go ahead and play Van Loo. Now I can mess around with 8-6 price tag, and more than likely go ahead and get Tierra McCowan into my line at that 9-5. I really do feel pretty good in regards to what else you can build, putting in the rest of your line right there with that. But all right, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for me. If you guys got any questions, comments, or anything like that, talk to me down in the comment section. Hopefully you guys are able to win some money on today's slate. I want to cash out just like you guys. And